Hi there, everyone. No fans today. We're having a really nice, the storm blew through the other day, lots of wind, just cooled everything down. It's just absolutely wonderful. Well, I thought what I'd do here today is I would paint some cone flowers. I think that's what these are called. Paint some cone flowers together. So I'm at the point here where I'm just sort of, I hope you're all having a really good day. I'm just so, I can't even describe how happy I am on this change of weather. I was really having a hard time on that terrible heat. So no fans, I don't even need them. Isn't that just incredible? All right, so what I'm doing on this one here is painted what you see. And I'm taking some sepia now mixed in with some brown. I can't think of the brown, but it's brown anyways. And I'm painting a little bit of, it's got a little bit of shadow coming out. Not too much, and I'm getting a little carried away. So we need to back it up. So I'm putting water on my brush, coming in and just sort of sopping up a bit of what I put on because I didn't want to go that far with it, but I guess today I can't paint and talk at the same time. So this is going to be a real short, just kind of painting some cone flowers with me. I'm going to come over here and get some of this red, because this is a pretty, I don't even know, it's almost like a vermilion red, to tell you the truth. So I'm going to go, I think that's my vermilion. There we go. Yeah, that's the color that I'm looking for here. And I hope I don't move the camera because I had to plug it in, and I had to plug it in kind of beside me and stretch the cord. So I'm trying like heck not to move this cord that's right next to me while I paint. But that's a pretty color, isn't it? I had some red. So it's some red mixed with a vermilion. Oh, boy, I'm have a hard time talking today. Okay, so we've got, it's this beautiful red that is, comes about halfway like you see on that part of the flower. Flowers to me are just, as I'm sure they are for you, and painting with watercolor, painting flowers with watercolor, just for me, it brought a whole new love and the beauty of flowers. I mean, the colors that are, within flowers, I mean, it just never stops. It's just, oh, it's just gorgeous. What a beautiful thing God did when he made flowers. And this is flowers down here. So I can't even imagine what the flowers are like in heaven. I mean, I really just can't. Sure wish I'd get a glimpse of it, though. So I could paint it. If I ever do, I surely will paint them. But it surely does. One of the things I truly love to paint with watercolor. And I love having a beautiful tipped brush. I mean, that makes almost all the difference in painting, having something you love to paint with. And then it seems as though this flower kind of has these little white, well, they're almost, they're not really white. They're white with a little tinge of something. So I'm going to add a little yellow, give it a little tinge here and there. But it is white, too. So we want to make sure that we have the white. I hope y'all guys have all been trying some painting here and there. And if you have, I'd love to see it. Don't ever be afraid to show your work when you're starting out, or even if you've been painting for a while. Everybody paints differently. Everybody paints the way they paint. And all of it's beautiful. So I would love to see your paints. And there's one, well, you know, I mean, I could go on and on with the cone flower, but the other thing I'm going to do here, which I didn't get in there, I can just get my paint, there we go, a little too much that time, are these little, and you need a little tiny brush like this, the little tiny point. Oops, a little too much of my brush here. Because these are little spikes that are all over that, but that depicts it good enough. And then we're trying to sort of drag some of that, but I don't want to lose the shape of that center thing. Technical terms, I don't know the technical terms of flowers very well, so the centerpiece. Whatever it is, right? Called different things and different flowers, I guess. And some of this has nice, lines, and you can put them in, or you don't have to. How you paint is how you paint. How I paint is how I paint. How somebody else paints is how they paint, and so forth, and so on. You need to develop your own style anyway. So that's kind of one of the cone flowers. And then the other one that I'm going to do right about here, just draw this little center thing here. Just the center, I guess that's what it's called. Sorry guys, I forgot to shut the news off, but it will all survive. Just forgot to do that before I sat down. I don't feel like getting up and doing it, so hopefully we can all manage, right? Nothing you probably haven't already heard already, so I didn't draw this first, and you know what? I'm going to put my paintbrush down and I'm going to draw it. You can kind of see that in action as well, to be drawn. I do usually draw out things, but not always. I don't always draw things out. Sometimes I just go for it. You know, it depends on my mood, I think. You know, am I thinking I want to go for it, or do I need something today for visual? Today, I kind of need something for visual. My eyes, we have a lot of change of weather. My eyes get affected quite a lot by changes and drastic changes of weather, and that's what we're having right now. Although it is, oh, I'm so thankful and so happy. It is a very strong weather change from really hot to really, you know, almost chilly. So that definitely affects my eyes. It makes them blurry. So it could be the dry eye that I have, or it could be just my other issues with my eyes. But nevertheless, that is what goes on. So today I need, you know, I'm needing the visual. Actually, I wanted to kind of make this come down like this, and without putting my finger into the painting that I've already done. So we're just kind of adding petals here. Kind of made that too big. There we go, we want that there. And then we'll just have one more here that kind of flops in different ways. And that's going to be the yellower, more yellowy one. And this is the stem. The stems on these are a fairly thick stem. So yeah, my eyes are really messed up today, but we'll deal with it. All right, so we'll go back. I'm going to go into my yellow with a little bit of what do you call it? Yellow ochre. But as I was saying earlier, I hope you guys are actually trying some of the things that I paint. You know, getting some paper and paints. You don't only, when you're starting out like this, you only need a paintbrush. You can buy a paintbrush, and it doesn't have to be an expensive one. Some of these dollar stores, and actually even regular stores, sometimes have paintbrushes. Whoop, a bit of hair's coming out here. Inexpensive paintbrushes you can just grab. So, I mean, you could get one fairly inexpensive whenever that works for you. And, you know, just get a tube of paint, because many times we paint monochrome, which is using one color of paint, or maybe two, you know, or like that. And then just shades of it, different, you know, tones of it. And you can just start that way, and you know, get the water. Get it. You don't have to have watercolor paper. It certainly would help, because you probably discourage yourself with something else. But you don't have to buy expensive watercolor paper. You can, you know, buy some watercolor paper that isn't expensive, just to try it, you know, to see if you like it. There are many people, I have seen it, that do beautiful watercolor with those cheap dollar store watercolors. Somehow they're able to take those things and make a beautiful painting. So, you know, it's just kind of all in what you want to do. I wouldn't, you know, you can do whatever you like. Of course, my suggestions are just for helping, being helpful, and of course you do whatever you want. But I wouldn't, you know, spend a lot of money on, you know, real expensive stuff until you know if you're going to like it. I mean, you know, you literally may find out you don't. I know of people that, you know, it's not the case for me. I fell in love with it, but it took me a long time to do it. Now, you know, I talked myself out of it for how many years. I was a acrylic painter. For over 40 years, I painted in acrylics. But I wanted so badly to try watercolor, but I just, for whatever reason, intimidated my own self to not try it. What a stupid thing, right? So, as you can see, I can watercolor. I don't know why I did that. I honestly don't. So my thing to you is that you don't do that. Don't discourage yourself. If you actually want to try this, try it. Just like I said, though, you don't have to break the bank to try it. You can, you know, just do really inexpensive tools. And they have them out there, so nobody has to go break the bank to try it. In fact, getting those little store paints is actually an awesome way to, talking, and I screwed myself up here. I didn't want my edges up there to be dark. Is an awesome way to just get a little bit of paper. You can even just try regular paper. It's not going to work very well on regular paper, though. I mean, I do have to say that it's not made to soak up water. So, you know, you're certainly not going to get the same effect, and you're going to discourage yourself. You're going to say, well, that's not the way it's supposed to be, and it's not. So, at least get yourself maybe, you could, if you have a canvas. I actually, without even the watercolor grounds, which is what I usually use, once I, you know, realized that it's not going to take very well on a regular canvas, but you can paint on it. I did it. So, I mean, it's not like you can't. It's just not going to give you the same results. So, you know, you can get some inexpensive watercolor paper. I think online they might even sell it by individual sheets, but, you know, I don't know. I never did it that way. Just to see, you know, if you're going to like it. And then If you do, well, then you just go for it. But why do that when you don't know yet? Just a thought. So this is a little different coloring, right? I'm doing a bit more of a yellow on this one, and this here, this, whoops, I did it in there too far. This one here is a bit more brown. There is brown in this one too, and I didn't end up putting it in. Can't see it very well, but there you go. The centers of cornflowers and these, which I can't remember the name right now. I just got done painting coneflowers, that's why they're on my mind. Black-eyed Susans, there we go. That is what I was trying to say in the first place. So they have dark centers, so you want to get the center piece there to be nice and dark, almost black, but I don't normally use just black, so you can. No harm, no foul if you do. But I love mixing colors, so I'm going to be the one to, in fact, I put a little bit of purple into my sepia here. This gives me some real dark. And then each one of these, I want to mix a little bit of yellow ochre with a little bit of the red that I had, a little more yellow ochre to it. And just sort of make, I keep moving my paper here. This, by the way, is hot press, my favorite paper to paint with. I absolutely love hot press paper. It's like painting on butter. And I like the smooth effect after. I also like the cold press, but my favorite and my preferred, which I run out of all the time because it's expensive, more expensive, is the hot press. I mean, it's so smooth. This is so smooth, and it makes such a, to me, it makes such a pretty finished product. I mean, just look how fast my little brush is just kind of going. It's just so smooth. Whoops. And I guess there's something about the smoothness in painting in watercolor that I like, that I didn't realize. I started out with cold press, like I guess everybody does, pretty much. But then somehow, and don't ask me how because I don't remember, I think I just saw the word or saw something painted on cold press and said, oh, I love that. And so when I could, I bought myself some, and bam, I was totally sold at that point on the hot press. That became my favorite paper to paint on. You might not like it at all. In fact, some people don't. That's, you know, their prerogative. That's their thing, right? Me, I love it. I absolutely love it. So I'm using some burnt sienna to mix into my green that I just took out of the palette. And over here onto this one to add to my stem. Because I always like to mix my colors for my stem. And I'll add a little yellow in here. I had to get a drink, which turned out to be a sip of coffee. Okay, so basically today, this is what I'm doing, this afternoon for this moment in time. I'll be doing a painting after. I haven't done any videos for a while, a little bit, so I got to get to some videos. I'll probably be making some shorts as well, so you can be looking for those. People seem to like my shorts. So I'm just, you know, kind of adding those darker areas there. And then these leaves the leaves that they seem to have kind of look a little bit different in different places I look, but we'll just get some green going here. And it looks as though, I mean, this photo is a little bit weird to look in, but I think they kind of have some, I mean, I can't tell if there's something else within the photo, you know, the reference photo that is what the leaf is. So I'm just kind of, what I'm seeing is this. So I'm going to paint this type of a leaf. It's, you know, not that important. So just giving you some, what it kind of looks like, what the leaf kind of looks like. And I could be wrong, and that's fine if I am. Get a little lighter area here on some of the area. It sort of has, of course, it depends on the angle that this picture is taken. So I think there's some sort of spikiness to the part of the flower. So let's leave it like that. Let's do it like that. It works for me. And then we have, I think I see like some smaller ones too, like this. And we can kind of spike it a little bit, I guess. Hook it to the stem. This is just, I'm going to fill it in on my own, but I'll show you one thing that I am going to do before I finish this, is I'm going to wet the background. Oh, I hate to do that. No, I'm not right now because I want to get my flowers, I'm sorry. I want to get my flowers in first, so I'm not going to wet the background. I could have done the background first, let it dry, and then, you know, put my flowers on. I didn't choose to do that this time. So that's that. I'm actually choosing to put in some gamboge here, which is a pretty color, gamboge. Something got in there, so it altered the color a little bit, but that's okay. Yeah. And of course the ends are supposed to be, on some of the ends is a bright yellow, so we can just kind of add. And this is dry, wet on dry. This is not wet on wet. Actually, wet on wet will be in a different video what I do to fill in the background. So that's, you know, something. So I'm just going to kind of continue on here off camera. Drawing in the stuff over here, drawing in some other Lazy Susans, and then, you know, painting them. You want to vary, you know, your petals. You know, don't always just make them the same. Try not to make them all the same. You know, to kind of get some different shapes going on and some movement with them, and, you know, stuff like that. All kinds of ways you can do it. And I wanted to make the center on these are much bigger than what I'm making them for some reason. So they're kind of bigger. That's all right. It's all right. And then just, you know, make some real small ones up there. This is a bit of a smaller one, smaller flower. And that's, you know, drawing them in. So I'm going to be doing that off camera. And when I come back, the flowers will be done. And in this next kind of video, I will actually paint the backgrounds. Whoops, the background of the painting. So, whoops, I'm sorry. So I hope you enjoyed it. Check out my other stuff, folks. Come back around and see what I do, in the background here. And have a great rest of your day. Bye for now. I'm sorry. Keep hitting the camera.